Salvete omnes. Let's continue with the Aeneid, Book 1. Sin absumpta salus et te pater optime teucrum, pontus abet Libyae nec speciam restat Iuli, at freta Sicaniae saltem sedesque paratas, unde uc advecti regemque petamus acestin, talibus Ilioneus, cuncti simul ore fremebat Dardanidae. But if safety was destroyed, and the sea of Libya holds you, best father of the Trojans, and no hope now remains for Iulus, but at least, saltem, at least, let us seek the straits of Sicily, whence we were carried towards this place, and the seats having been prepared, and King Acestes. Ilioneus, there's an implied, spoke with such great words. All the Trojans at the same time were groaning with their mouth. So let's look at the beginning. I notice sin means but if, so don't confuse that with si, meaning just if, or si ne, but if not. It's but if. So but if safety was taken away, and you have to supply an est here, absumpta est, if safety was taken away. And the sea of Libya holds you, best father of the Trojans. Pater optime refers to Aeneas. They're saying if the sea has drowned Aeneas. And then notice teucrum is syncopated, and it's short for teucrorum. There's an OR missing in there, so you know it's genitive plural, syncopated. And no hope now remains for Iulus. Who is Iulus? Does anyone remember who Iulus is? You can't respond back because this is a YouTube video, but Iulus was Aeneas' son, Ascanius. Iulus is just another name for Ascanius, and it's used throughout the Aeneid in place of Ascanius at different points. Sometimes it can be to fit the meter, sometimes it can just be for style or to give that alternate name for him and make it known. And you'll notice maybe that Iulus looks kind of like Julius, kind of like Julius Caesar, because his name was Julius Caesar, if you'd use the Latin pronunciation. And that's because Caesar claimed descent from Aeneas and Ascanius. So using the name Iulus for Ascanius helps that direct lineage down to Augustus and helps it seem more like it draws the line of descent from all the way from Aeneas down to Augustus, and Virgil was of course writing this during the time of Augustus. And let's continue now that you have that bit of context. But let us seek petamus. Remember petto, pettere? So petamus is present active subjunctive. And in this case, it is a hortatory subjunctive, because he's saying, let us seek the straits of Sicily. And notice this, unde uc advecti, whence we were carried towards this place. This goes with, the straits of Sicily, whence they were carried towards this place, meaning Carthage. And if you remember way back at the beginning of the poem, or closer to the beginning, it said whenever they were just outside of Sicily, just with Sicily in sight, is whenever Aeolus' storm shows up and takes them to Carthage. So this is referencing how they were just about to reach Sicily, and then they were blown away. So they're saying, let us seek Sicily again, we were so close to it, and let us seek King Acestes. Remember, Acestes is a Trojan king in Italy, and they're planning that if Aeneas is dead, then they're going to go and settle with Acestes, because they need a new king, a new ruler, and a new land to settle with, and they can't really go to Latium if they do not have Aeneas with them. So Ilioneus spoke with such great words. Here ends the speech of Ilioneus. At the same time, all the Dardanians, all the Trojans were groaning with their mouth. It's so sorrowful for them. They're in such a sad state. They don't know what's happened to Aeneas. They are clearly very upset and worried about the future and what Dido is going to respond with. Remember, Dardanian means Trojan, so you could just translate that as Trojan.